Welcome to Besiege Bots, the real home of robotic combat in Besiege. In this episode of the Heavyweight Havoc, we continue the preliminary matches. After an impressive comeback against Huge Parasite, Siamese Swan now faces down Vertically Inclined, who bullied around Big If True in its debut fight. Will the wrestler hold down the flipper, or will the flipper gain control? For this episode's Rumble, we have a Natalo Dropshot and the Finnish giant that is currently 1-1, Hakapolita. Dropshot lost his debut fight to the tables have turned his well-coordinated driving, while Natalo dominated Janus in its fight. Will Hakapolita continue its impressive performance after the vicious Uta KO from Strongarm, or has the giant ran out of steam already? We also have Huge Parasite vs Janus. Janus got its weapon kicked in by Natalo in its debut fight. Can it turn around that 0-1 record into 1-1 against Huge Parasite? Or will it drop to 0-2? All of that and more on this episode of Besiege Bots. Let's get right into it. And so we meet our first two competitors. Black Blizzard, who lost its first fight to Humperbump after being thrown around all across the arena, now faces Terabyte, the horrifying shell spinner that ripped Maceface a new one, built by Team Mist Inc. Let's see how these two match up. And off we go. Black Blizzard immediately approaching, trying to box in Terabyte, lifting the arms down. That's not lifting them, lowering the arms down. As Terabyte goes flying over the air pit for some reason, not so good strategic driving there from Terabyte. Terabyte gets a nice hit there, actually scoring some control because Terabyte is not the one that's going flying, therefore it's controlling Black Blizzard, but Black Blizzard there with some good control of its own. I think it's trying to, yes, it is trying to put the lifting arms underneath the fairly tall shell of Terabyte to then try and flip it up. It's kind of working, it's kind of not working. Terabyte doesn't fly very far because it has that innate downforce. There's a good hit though because Terabyte stopped spinning, and that means less gyroscopic forces are at work. Terabyte in trouble here, doesn't want to fight near the walls. Getting clamped by Black Blizzard. Black Blizzard couldn't quite make anything of it, gets thrown away there by Terabyte. Big hit from Terabyte. Terabyte speeding up right onto the bouncing plate. Terabyte does not want to be there because it cannot self-right. That was Black Blizzard with another decent flip. Gets thrown again though. Really needs to try and prevent getting thrown as much as possible because that will score against its control score. As the way we define control is where you get to send the opponent. Oh, good hit there from Black Blizzard. Angling Terabyte. Terabyte never wants to get in an angle because that's when it's prone to those grabber explosions. Ooh, that was scary there for Terabyte. Does not want to fight near any of the arena hazards, honestly. Black Blizzard staying very aggressive. Terabyte getting good hits in though, coming back on control a little bit maybe. After having lost out a little bit on aggression trying to run away. Black Blizzard lowers the pit. Terabyte moves away, does not want to be anywhere near that. Terabyte with another decent hit there. Black Blizzard positioning. Oh, Terabyte almost flies into the pit. Not quite. Black Blizzard doesn't make enough use of it. Terabyte hits the wall. It's Black Blizzard momentarily with the momentum. Terabyte gets another good hit there. Couldn't tell if he flew further than Black Blizzard. Another good hit from Black Blizzard there. Technically, both are scoring hits in every exchange, but Black Blizzard is definitely more in control and more aggressive as far as I'm concerned. Ooh, Terabyte gets angled again. Doesn't want to be there. That wobble that I just noticed in Black Blizzard usually means that there's some parts buckling inside. That's not a good sign. If it's a wheel, that's going to score pretty heavily against it in damage. It does appear to be quite a bit slower than at the start of the match. Throws Terabyte around again. Terabyte gets a hit on the back there. No real damage sustained from the looks of it. Another good hit from Terabyte there. Black Blizzard with those arms down. Tries to lift them up. Gets thrown though, unfortunately. It's a very close fight, this. Oh, there goes a prop off of Black Blizzard. That's for his downforce. That means the chassis is buckling inside, because I think to remember that that one is inside Black Blizzard's frame. The one that just came out. Terabyte spinning up again, trying to get away from the wall. Staying in the center of the arena, that's where it wants to fight. Oh, gets a good hit on one of Black Blizzard's wheels there. Oh, that means the chassis has really taken a lot of internal damage, because that usually doesn't let go that easy. That means Terabyte has done a lot more damage than we can see from here, and that's going to be time, and that's an incredibly close match, which Terabyte solely wins on that damage sustained near the end there on Black Blizzard. That means that, unfortunately for Black Blizzard, that means Terabyte wins by judgment, putting Black Blizzard at 0-2, and Terabyte at 2-0. For our next matchup, we have Siamese Swan. Lost its first Rumble, won its second match against Huge Parasite, and it now faces down Vertically Inclined, which beat Big If True with a lot of flips in its first fight. Let's see if it can flip around Siamese Swan equally. And off we go. Siamese Swan with the greater drive gets stuck on the arena again. Siamese and Vertically both trying to get under each other, but it's Vertically that falls over after trying to flip, thinking they were under Siamese Swan, trying to maybe initiate a fight here. Siamese Swan tries to get up, but gets flipped. More like lifted by Vertically Inclined. Something must have been wrong with the flipper on that one. Apologies about the steam pop-ups. It was recorded by, once again, another cameraman who has since fixed the filter issue, but did not turn off his Steam notifications. Vertically Inclined kind of almost clamping Siamese Swan with the flipper there. As a strange maneuver, as Siamese Swan loses a flying block, that's a little bit of less downforce. Siamese and Vertically fighting a wedge war right now, trying desperately to get under each other, wiggling side to side to get under, but it's Vertically with the throw there. And another decent-ish throw from Vertically Inclined there. The wedge war continues, Vertically misses. Siamese needs to abuse the time it has here. Gets to the back of Vertically Inclined as Vertically was trying to self-right again. Doesn't quite make it stick there though. Vertically and Siamese again in a wedge war. Siamese backs off, trying to get to the side of Vertically. Vertically not having it, Vertically flipping a little too early there. Bounces away from Siamese as Siamese try to clamp. Tries to turn away from Siamese, turns into Siamese now, not so good driving from Vertically there. Flips itself back out though after a minor climb from Siamese. Hits the pit button after a pirouette. Siamese with the momentum here, throws Vertically Inclined back around, Vertically gets back up. Siamese coming in from the back. Vertically Inclined positioning, getting under, throwing Siamese in the direction of the pit. Straight into the pit, excuse me. Straight into the pit. Vertically Inclined wins by pit KO. What a turnaround for Vertically, who is now 2-0, while Siamese is 1-2. And so we move on to the Rumble of this episode. A Natalo built by Team Archaon beat the ever-loving shit out of Janus. It now squares off against Dropshot, who lost his first fight to the tables have turned by very well-coordinated pit KO. And the final contestant in this Rumble is Hakapolita at 1-1. Built by Team Aimboat, got viciously ooted in the last match. Let's see how it goes here. Off we go. Hakapolita and Asalode immediately measuring each other up. Dropshot coming in from behind, and Asalode gets thrown around by Hakapolita. Dropshot almost clamping down on Hakapolita's wheels. And Asalode to the side of Hakapolita there. Dropshot just kind of wandering off as Asalode throws Hakapolita into the wall. Dropshot coming into the back of Asalode there, and Asalode not sure which bot to focus, so just drives away. Hakapolita with another good hit there, gets thrown up though, throws up Asalode this time. Dropshot almost pits himself, very near the pit. Hakapolita trying to get some damage in here, coming in. Oh, gets a hit on drop shot there. One of the plows goes into the atmosphere. A wheel goes into the atmosphere as well. We just saw one of the plows land and the wheel as well after that. Oh, an Athelode with some momentum here. An Athelode pushing around Hackapalita as drop shot gets up. Hackapalita needs to get out of there. That's not a good position to be in. Gets up. An Athelode's still trying to self-right. Hackapalita wants to get out of there. Facing drop shot, but gets attacked from the back again by an Athelode. An Athelode throwing up drop shot there. Hackapalita with another good couple of hits on an Athelode. Oh, an Athelode gets uppercut quite viciously. Drop shot coming in from behind, still staying aggressive. Not really being able to do much with that aggression though. Hackapalita throws an Athelode into the wall. Hackapalita now fighting drop shot again. Oh, wait a minute. The drum from drop shot has been ripped out by Hackapalita at some point during the match there. I completely missed that. Hackapalita on the offensive being pushed by drop shot. Drop shot and Hackapalita forming a pack here apparently. Pushes an Athelode all the way into the wall. But Hackapalita explodes and so does drop shot. But an Athelode is stuck on the wall. If he doesn't get off of there, this is going to be a three-way KO. Because if he cannot show movement right now, it's going to be judged until the point of that fight. I don't think an Athelode's getting off. That is a cease. And it is a 21 to 18 to 6 decision for Hackapalita for causing all the damage to drop shot and slightly more control. And that means that Hackapalita wins by judgment, setting it up to 2-1, while an Athelode is 1-1 and drop shot is 0-2. And off we go for the next matchup. Grip, after a somewhat disappointing display in the Rumble with its fantastic drive, now faces Sequoia, who also had a very disappointing first fight versus Quack, getting pick KO'd in approximately 20 seconds. Let's see what happens. And off we go. Grip immediately focusing the pit button. Trying to make sure that plow is still aimed towards Sequoia, though. Doesn't want to get hit by that. Ooh, Sequoia with an uppercut on one of the plows, and Grip, what you doing, buddy? Grip, why? That is another very quick pick KO for Sequoia this time instead of against it. That means Sequoia is 1-1 now, while Grip is 0-2. And for our next competitors, we have Big If True with a 0-2 record. It really needs to start scoring some points against its next opponent here, which is going to be from the UK, Quack 4. After a quick first win against Sequoia, it now has to face Big If True. Let's see how this goes. And off they go. Both machines are not too quick. Quack only just span up, was waiting for Big If True to get close for some reason. There's the spinner going now, though. Almost gets a hit on the top of Quack there. If Big If True can land a good shot on the top of Quack, it might be able to hurt that motor inside. We'll see how that goes, though. Big If True currently struggling to go anywhere. Oh, but Quack's motor explodes as the bar hits the side of the arena. And it looks like Quack's frame has been bent sufficiently to the point where it cannot actually move under its own power. That means that is a KO for Big If True. Big If True finally scoring its first win is now 1-2, while Quack 4 moves on at 1-1. And for the final fight of tonight, we have Huge Parasite. After an impressive win against Bliss and then losing to Siamese Swan after being outdriven, it now has to face Yanis from the US. It lost its first fight quite violently to an Athelode, but let's see how it can do against that big clamp. And off we go. Parasite has gone with the low setup again to try and prevent Yanis from uppercutting what would be upper row of clampers. Getting to the side, controlling where Yanis can go. Yanis turns off the blades, very clever. Otherwise it might explode and he doesn't want that. Parasite hugging its own face, trying to protect it from those bars. Janus being aggressive, but it needs to get a bit of control back here. It needs to start really hitting Huge Parasite hard to score something back here. So right now it is all Huge Parasite in control. I can't even tell if Janus is high-centered or not. Okay, I think he got off there. Oh, something came out of Huge Parasite there, though. That means it's taken a little bit of damage. Oh, Janus with a good hit there. Another flying block comes out of Parasite. Parasite trying to get underneath those wedges of Janus. Gets under, but doesn't quite make it stick. Janus very close to that hinge of Huge Parasite there. Oh, a piece did go flying there. I think... Yes, I think my assumption is correct here. The left arm appears to be broken. I don't think that has any more movement in it, so Janus has actually done some pretty significant damage to Parasite here. I think I saw some frame damage as well, because Huge Parasite's arm is not supposed to come out that far. Ooh, almost gets Janus over the pit, though. That was a little bit dangerous there. Dangerous driving from the Janus driver. Going very near the pit again. The owner of Janus was relatively new to the community at this point, so he's probably still trying to figure out his controls in this fight. Oh, Huge Parasite is under him, but can't really do anything with it because that arm doesn't work anymore. Oh, the arm is now stuck inside of Huge Parasite, gets it back out, gets it hit by Janus. Oh, Janus with some plow damage on Huge Parasite as well. That means it has done some structural damage to the inside of Huge Parasite, because that plow doesn't usually go up until something has severely broken inside. Honestly, Janus with a huge hit there, ripping the entire arm from Huge Parasite off. That's 50% of the weapon gone. That's gotta score a lot of points on damage. Janus also gaining back a little bit of control there, putting Huge Parasite in the corner, but running away now, trying to find some free space to spin up both of those blades. Trying to charge towards Humper. Not Humper, Huge Parasite. Takes a wheel off of Huge Parasite. Huge Parasite's still mobile, but damage points are starting to rack up for Janus here. Huge Parasite needs to start looking for a pick KO or gaining absolute control of Janus. But Janus does not look like he'll be he'll be pitted anytime soon. He's staying very far away from that. Huge Parasite with a good bit of control here, though. Up bumps into Janus' top spinner, which sends Janus flying. Again, Humper Bump scoring control here with just a singular arm. Janus gets away, though. Needs to spin them up again, spins it up, throws the wheel out of the arena. Janus spinning up again, trying to get that double bar action in against Huge Parasite. That is a feature that Janus can do. He can spin in place and then hit him with the bar constantly from the top. However, the driver does not appear to be using that tactic. Needs to spin them up again soon. There we go. Really needs to score even more damage. And any damage scored against your opponent is good. If it's this close so far. Huge Parasite with more control there. Oh, Janus almost pits himself but turns the blades on, which prevent him from falling in. And that's time. Oh, that was so close. And that means that Janus wins 24-21. Slightly losing on aggression and control, 7 and 6, but winning heavily on damage after ripping half of the weapon system out of Huge Parasite. That means Janus wins by judgment, goes to 1 and 1, while Huge Parasite is 1 and 2. And that's it for episode 5. Terabyte and Vertically Inclined continue their confident stride at 2 and 0, while not far behind is Hackapolita, after its win by judge's decision, lifting it to 2 and 1. Sequoia and Janus equalized their score this episode to 1 and 1 after their first victories. Big If True, while a little behind, scores its first victory, putting it at 1 and 2. We sincerely hope you enjoyed this episode. If you would like to get in on future tournaments, or just generally competing against other Besiege Bots, be sure to check the description for our Discord link. From everyone in the Besiege Bots Discord, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon.